Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Matt with Garden Distractions. Today I'm going to be planting up some tomato seeds. I have 3 different types, 2 of which are cherry tomato and 1 is a beefsteak tomato. The beefsteak tomato is a bush steak hybrid, and this guy matures within 65 days of planting it into the ground, not actually from when you plant it from seed. So some people think that it is when you plant it from seed, but that's not the case. It's actually from when you plant it outside and the plant matures and you get the produce that way. For planting the seed on this one, we want to go 0.6 centimeters in depth of the soil, and then we're going to space them when we actually plant them in the garden 1.2 meters. So that's about 42 inches, I believe. These are also a determinate. So a determinate means that it's going to grow to a certain size and it won't grow any further than that. The other 2 that I have is a Tumbling Tom Red. This is good for hanging baskets and containers. On the back of this, I'll show you guys. This is really nice that they have this on here. It says to sow indoors, you want to plant it between January to March, and then transplant between April to June, and then harvest. You can start harvesting between July and September. So this guy, we want to start growing from seed 8 weeks before your average frost. So I'm doing a little bit early, but I want to have bigger plants sooner. They need to be 18 inches apart, and they are also a determinate. Then I have a cherry tomato called Principe Bourgeois. These guys you want to start sowing in March to May, and then you can start transplanting. If you're doing it in March, you can do it as early as April all the way to June, and then harvest from July to September. These guys, the spacing, you want to do 24 to 36 inches apart, and they germinate within 7 to 21 days. Now, all these guys also germinate between 7 to 14 to 21. So this guy's the later one, but yeah, it's also a determinate. So I'm going to plant them in a couple different ways. I have growing pellets. So I'm probably going to do about 10 of these guys. And then I have some 3x4s. I have 2 of them. Now I'm also going to put them in one single tray here, and then my pellets are going to go on the side here. And I'm just going to try the different growing methods to see which I like better. I know in the past the growing pellets I've liked, and you really just take them once you expand them in water. You let them grow, and then you keep them moist until you actually do plant them, transplant them. So I'm going to take these from this and right into the garden plot and plant them that way. So I'm not going to do any transplanting in between, at least I hope not. If they get too big, then maybe I will upgrade them into a bigger container. And then these guys for sure, I will be transplanting into something bigger when they get bigger. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is put the seed pellets into this container, and we're going to put some water in them and then let them expand. And then while they're expanding, I'm going to start working on planting up the seed cells. So hopefully I can get away with 10. Actually, maybe the first thing I'll do is take this tray and see how many I can fit in here. So that should do it. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So 6 more than I was going to go for, but that fills this area up quite nicely. All these plants I won't be planting on my own. I will probably end up giving some away, maybe selling some, so we'll see. Some of them might not also germinate, so stay tuned to see the outcome on this. So I've got all of those. We're gonna go 16, and they're going to hopefully be able to put them all in here. I doubt I will be able to, but that's okay. I can do a couple of different batches of water soaking up, is what I'll call it. Now, the next thing I want to do is put the water in slowly so that these don't move around like crazy. So I have my pitcher of water here. put about that much in for now, let them start to expand that and get that water in there. Now, the inside of these pellets is all peat moss, so it's going to suck up that water, then they'll expand, and then we'll be able to grow on them. The outer casing is a coconut core. So these are 100% organic. They do not have anything that I have to throw away, which is really nice. I'm trying to be a lot more sustainable this year and for years to come. So I'm trying a bunch of different ways to see what I like best to eliminate my waste as much as possible. So those are going to start expanding, and I will start mixing up my soil. So for my soil, I saw this on Garden Answer. If any of you watch Laura with Garden Answer, she's great. I absolutely love her channel, watching her and her ideas. Now, this is something I'm taking from her. So I'm taking my soil, we're gonna put them in here, put the soil in here, and then we're gonna add the water and mix it. We want our soil to be nice and moist, but not dripping wet. So we'll start with that much. And we'll add some water, and then we'll start mixing this with our hands. This is the great thing about gardening. This is one thing I absolutely love, is getting my hands all wet and dirty. I don't know about you guys, but that's just one thing I really enjoy. And that's perfect. So I'm squeezing it out. There's barely any water, actually soil that's dripping out and not actual water. So the soil is holding in the water really well. There's no water dripping out, and that's exactly what you want. So this way, when you're planting up your seedlings, it's gonna take less water, and it's gonna just not disturb the soil and the seeds as much. And that's exactly what you want. I'm just going to put the soil into all these cells, push them down pretty good. Not too much, because you do want the roots on these seedlings to actually maneuver through the soil, but you also do not want it to clump. I'm gonna leave a little bit of space on top of every single one of them. And the reason I'm going to do that is there's another method of starting your seeds that I'm going to try that I've never done this before. I'm leaving a little bit of space on top. I'm gonna place the seed on then, and then I'm going to top layer it with a little bit of dry soil. And that way that seeds settle and it doesn't move around like crazy. Now coming back to the growing pellets, they did expand quite nicely. They soaked up a lot of water, but they can get bigger than this. So we're just going to add some more water to that. So I have all of these guys ready to go with the soil, and we're going to cut the packaging open for the tomatoes now. So I think what I'm going to do for putting these seeds in is I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. And then that way I know exactly what is what. I'll also tag them so that I know. We'll open these guys up and we'll start planting. So I'm going to plant the beefsteak hybrid in this one here. Now you want to have at least 2 to 3 seeds in every single one to guarantee proper germination. And you don't want to cut the information on the back if you can help it. That will be your guide for growing down the line. Now these seeds are really small and I feel like there's nothing in here. I've gotten 3. Let's just rip open the top here and see what else we can get. There's one that went into this one. See what I mean? They're really small. It's nice when they color code them. They put a little coating over top of them so they're bigger and you can easily grab them. But that's not the case for these ones. I mean, they're a good size, but there are a lot smaller seeds for sure. So we're just gonna go 3 in every single pod. This is going to be Bush Steak Hybrid. Next one is going to be the Tumbling Tom Red. This one says that there's 15 seeds in here, so I'll only be able to put 1 in every single cell and hope that they all germinate. You know they're small seeds when they put a pouch within a seed packet. Now to make sure that we can get them all, you want to flick the package to make sure that they all go down to the bottom so that when you rip it open, they don't all just like fall everywhere. Did I say these were 15? I meant 12, guys. And 3 of them are going to be doubled up. So let's go that one, we'll go with this one, and then see if we can get this other seed out of there. A couple of the seeds ended up going over to the side, which I didn't want. You want to try to get the seeds to be as center as possible so that they have the equal chance of getting as much space as every other seed. That one's done, and we'll put that there. Now we're going to put in our little pellets, and that is going to be for the Principe Bourgonese cherry tomatoes. Now these guys already have a nice little hole ready to go, so we really don't have to put anything over top of them. We'll put the seed in, and then we'll just kind of push the soil off to the side, from the side and into the middle like that. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention with these pellets, you want to make sure to keep them moist at all times, so that these don't dry out and you don't lose your seeds. I did that a couple years ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I just got busy with work and I forgot about them. So I didn't end up getting a lot. Now in this one, there's 100 seeds. So I don't need to plant all of these, but I will probably try to do 2 seeds in every single pod. And then when they get big enough, I will then start to thin them out. And again, these are really small because they're in a package within a package. Yippee. The next thing I want to do is label them. So I have these cute little signs, labels that I got from the dollar store. It was a nice little package. I don't remember how many came in there, but there was a pencil, a nice little trowel, and a stick that has measuring on the sides. So you know exactly how deep to go. I don't know how well it's gonna show up here, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can go smaller ones on this side at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're just a thinner diameter than this size here. So you use that, make your hole so that you have the predetermined size of how deep you need to go, and then you can put the soil over top. So I did that with my peppers, and I will show you an update on my peppers that I did a week ago and see how well they're doing. So this guy is going to be our cherry tomato, Principe Bourgonese. I'm gonna go over what I wrote in pencil with black marker so that you can see it better. So I changed my mind on the last 3, doing 1 for every single one. Now the reason for that is because I simply don't have enough seeds for this one. I could get rid of a couple of them, or at least 1 out of this guy on one of these cells, but I want to make sure that I get good germination on all of these. So I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to do 3 more. Now that I have all of these ready to go, I'm just going to top stress these guys with some soil. There we go. And then we'll water them in. We just want to get them a bit moist. We won't want to like drown them or anything because they're already in a good wet soil mixture. And then these guys, just pinch the soil together at the top and kind of pack it down a little bit. The very last thing I want to do is put the greenhouse cover over top. So this helps trap the moisture in. And help promote germination. I think the best thing to do is just lay them on their sides like this for now until I take the top off. And then that way I know what they are. And this will just place on top. And I will put this on top of the fridge because that is probably a nice warm space. I do not have a grow mat for these to go on, so the top of the fridge is the next best thing. And with my peppers, I noticed that when I put them up there, they germinated a lot faster than just regular sunlight. Here are the red peppers. Now, these red peppers are a mixture of a bunch of different peppers. I don't recall what I planted. I have the seed packet here. Let me just look at it. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Here we are. So they are from Mackenzie Greenhouses. It's an easy soap pepper bell color mix. Now, these peppers that we have in here are a collection of green, red, yellow, orange, and purple bell peppers. They are autumn bell pepper, California Wonder, canary bell pepper, orange sun bell pepper, and purple beauty pepper. So we won't know what these are exactly until we start getting some harvest from that. But that's okay. And you'll see here that all but one cell has really taken off. This guy I maybe planted just a little bit too deep, and that's why he's taking a little bit of his sweet time. Now that these have been germinated, I'm going to leave them on top of the fridge for a little bit longer with the dome off. And they will start to grow bigger, and then they'll also get their true leaves. And once they get their true leaves, I'm going to put them over by the balcony door. And because they're inside, it's just gonna be artificial wind from a fan. They're too young to be going outside, and it's way too cold. I almost forgot. The last thing that I wanna do with this tray is add some vermiculite to this side here. The reason why I'm adding vermiculite is so that I can keep any fungus gnats from growing in here or laying their eggs. It's difficult for them to get into it. It's also good to keep any algae at bay that might end up growing because of the moist conditions. There we are. So those are all now planted. We will hopefully see some tomato seedlings start here within a week to 14, maybe even 21 days. And I will keep you guys along with that. Don't forget to check out my Instagram channel. I'll also be posting them on there as well. If you liked what you watched today and you learned something new, please do hit the like button and subscribe. You can also hit the bell notification to stay up to date on when I post new videos. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.